My name is Julie, and I'm here to offer up a review of Bryan Davis's Eye of the Oracle for his 20th author anniversary celebration. Um, Many of you who are on the forums would know me as Galadriel. Um, and I'm going to be doing a reading from Eye of the Oracle that I once did for high school forensics. I haven't done it in a while, but it was really fun to get back into. So here we go. Cue music. Makaidos blinked at the dim light. What a bad dream, he said out loud. He tried to turn on his eye beams, but they didn't seem to work. Apparently I need more time in the sun. He yawned and smacked his lips. Or maybe in a regeneracy dome. As his mind cleared, he stretched his wings, but they felt strange. His foreleg touched something at his side, most likely his mate. The sensation was different, softer somehow, more tactile. Turning his head slowly, he brought the form next him into view. He gasped. A human! A female human! He jerked his wing away and rolled to his haunches. But they weren't haunches. They were feet and legs, human ones. And his wing was a human arm, clothed in a soft sleeve. He patted his body all over, feeling his human chest, waist, and legs. What was going on? Had he awakened from a bad dream, only to fall into a nightmare? Using his newly found finger and thumb, he pinched the soft flesh on his cheek. Pain. Real pain. Surely he was wide awake. But how could he possibly be human? Keeping his hand in front of his face, he examined his new fingers. A gold ring with a mounted red jewel was fastened around his index finger. As the gem pulsated between two shades of red, he stared at it and wondered. My rubellite is mounted in a ring, and it blinks. Gazing all around, he studied the strange landscape, a ruined city with broken monuments and fountains and debris scattered everywhere. Suddenly a stream of memories flooded his mind. Goliath's mocking voice, Devon's flashing sword, Roxil's cry as she slowly passed away to sight. Makaidos gulped. Roxil! He jumped to the woman and shook her body. Roxil! He shouted, his voice trembling. Wake up! Roxil groaned. It is too early to rise, father, even for a warrior. He shook her again. Roxil, you must wake up. This is an emergency. Roxil blinked and gazed at Makaidos, then jerked away and shouted, Who are you, human? Speak now, or I will touch you where you stand. Roxil, look at yourself. Look at your hands and arms. Hands and arms? Roxil lifted her hand towards her face. What? She screamed. What happened to me? I have no idea. I am confused too. Makaidos lowered himself to her knees and gazed into her eyes. You do know who I am, don't you? Her eyes locked onto his and widened as she whispered, Father? He took his daughter's hands and pulled her to her feet. His thumb rubbed over a rubellite ring that matched his own. Somehow we were transformed into humans. He released her and patted his body again. We have human chests, human arms, human legs. It's amazing. Her body wavered back and forth, and Makaidos studied her. Amazing was not the first word that came to my mind. Do you remember what happened in the cave? He asked. She squinted at him, and as her eyes widened again, they flashed. Swords, she said softly, and humans thrusting them into us. Yes, I recognized Sir Devon. He and someone else wielded swords, and I think, he grasped her hand more tightly, I think they killed us. Killed us? But we are alive. She pulled her hand away and wiggled her fingers. We are as ugly as sin itself, but we are alive. Makaidos stooped and picked up a broken brick. It seems that we have been transported to a new environment, a shattered world of some kind. He rose and cast the brick into an empty fountain. I expected to find a better place to rest when I died. Roxil scanned the toppled buildings and debris-strewn roads. This city seems familiar to me. It seems familiar to me as well. Makaidos brushed dirt from his hand and extended the other towards Roxil. Shall we have a look around? Do I have any choice? She asked, slipping her hand into his. He smiled and pulled gently. No, you do not. As the sky brightened, they strode along the road. Makaidos pointed at a rise in the ground in front of them. This, in particular, seems oddly familiar. He waved his finger to one side of the rock. If I reconstruct that broken fountain in my mind and raise those two toppled didos, it starts to look like... Roxil pulled away and ran into the slope. Schnar! She beat her arms against her side. Ooh, if only I could fly! I could see everything so much better. And Nimrod's tower is gone, Makaidos noted, so there is no place to climb to get a good view. He joined Roxil and spun in a slow circle, his arms spread out. This is absolutely amazing! Roxil grabbed his leg. How could you possibly be happy about this? We are human now. We are disgusting, hateful, lust-filled, wine-guzzling bipeds. Makaidos rubbed the material on his sleeve. How about that? God gave me a fine-looking human garment. He stepped back and gazed at Roxil from head to toe, admiring her long, cream-colored dress. And look at you. What a lovely outfit. Roxil set her fists on her hips. Father, you are impossible. We have degenerated into the worst of all the species, and just like the vainest of the lot, you are already obsessing over clothing. I am not obsessing. I am marveling. Makaidos laid a hand on her back and leaned close. Listen to me. Obviously, we have entered some sort of afterlife. God has given us a new opportunity. Maybe we can make the human city a better one. Perhaps build a city that reflects the opposite of the corruptions that Nimrod fostered upon the world. Roxil folded her arms over her chest. What can we possibly do with this city? It is in ruins. The symbolism is perfect, Makaidos clasped his hands together. As we rebuild the corrupted city, we reshape the human culture. But how can just two people create a culture? If this is a place where dragons go when they die, perhaps new ones will join us. And other dragons are likely here already. Some perished in the Great Flood, and others died in battles with the Watchers before the flood. How many? 15 or so. We did not procreate quickly back then, so our numbers are few. Roxil spread out her arms. Then where are they? Makaidos shrugged his shoulders. The logical approach would be to look for them. Logical, yes, but we are humans now. Logic never seemed to be a primary behavioral motivation for them whenever I was watching. True enough for many of them. He nudged her ribs. But I've also observed some dragons who ignored logic on many occasions. She looped her arm around his elbow. If that means I told you so, then I guess I deserve it. It was a gentle rebuke, my love. He caressed her cheek with his hand, letting his knuckles linger. This enhanced sense of touch is quite pleasant, is it not? She nodded and rested her head against his shoulder. It is. I cannot deny it. So, shall we explore this strange world and experience a new adventure? I suppose so. She walked to his side and stopped and playfully poked his arm. But I'm going to keep my eye on you. I still lack trust in the human species, and now you are one of them. Makaidos shrugged his shoulders again. Fair enough. So I'm also going to read from the back cover of the book. What ancient mysteries lurk behind the amazing stories from the Dragons in Our Midst series? Eye of the Oracle takes the reader back in time to the days when dragons abounded. From the era just before Noah's Ark, through the battles between dragons and mankind in the time of King Arthur, and to the haunting presence of dragons in our day, this stunning prequel reveals the mysteries that led to the best-selling fantasy adventure that began with raising dragons. How did dragons survive the flood? Who helped preserve an evil force that led to the dragon's demise in the days of King Arthur? What heroic sacrifices kept that evil from exterminating the dragon race forever? If you enjoyed the heart-stopping action and spiritual depth of the first 4 books in this series, you won't want to miss the astonishing story that began it all. Eye of the Oracle will captivate readers young and old alike, and it will challenge every reader to search deep for the answers to the mysteries within their own hearts. So, this book is really good. It makes a lot more sense if you've read the original Dragons in Our Midst series, but it also can work as a standalone, although of course once you read it you'll want to go on and read the other ones anyway. It's a fascinating series with a broad tapestry of events, a great cast of characters, and just an amazing, amazing storyline. You should read it.